to welcome Mr. Andrew Bone, Executive Director, Responsible Jewelry Council, and he's here for a very, very special address. So, Mr. Bone, what is the key idea behind your session? Because we have absolutely no idea what we're going to hear and what we're going to enjoy.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed, first of all, for the invitation to come and speak to you all today. I come here with what I feel is good news. This is the Responsible Jewelry Council is an international standards organization, but the good news is that it was started just over 12 years ago by the international jewelry industry. So it is an organization that was created to address all of the challenges that many of you, in fact, I'm certain all of you, face in your normal day-to-day business, whether that be with gold, diamonds, platinum, jewelry, bullion. There are many commonalities in the challenges that we face. And the Responsible Jewelry Council was set up, as I say, by the industry, for the industry, to be able to effectively address those challenges. So what I'm going to do is just take you through a deck of slides that I have. They're all a little detailed, so I'll just go through, but rather quickly. But they will be available for distribution afterwards in any case. Okay, so this just sets out our vision and our mission. Our vision is a responsible worldwide supply chain that promotes trust in the global fine jewelry and watch industry. And our mission is to be the recognized standards, which, if I say so myself, I think we already are, and certification organization for the supply chain integrity and sustainability in the global fine jewelry and watch industry. As I say, we were founded in 2005 by the industry. We had 14 founding members. What we're born out of is the need to harmonize, recognize, again, as I say, those commonalities, and work with other organizations and initiatives to relieve what we call audit burden, to make life easier for the industry. As I say, remembering this is an industry organization. 3 of those were diamond mining companies, but we also had big jewelry companies as well. And from that beginning of 14 founding members, we now find ourselves, as I'll show you a slide in a little while, we are now over 1,000 members worldwide in 76 different countries. So the benefits, and there are many, that come from being a member and a certified member of the IIGC, is that I like for me, the box at the top says it all. What you'll be joining is a community of confidence. What you'll be joining is a winning team. A team of over 1,000 members, as I say, around the world, who are now effectively dressing and adding value to their business through IIGC certification. It helps us to demonstrate due diligence, of course, the all-important consumer assurance and consumer confidence. It helps you to, in a more methodical way, manage your risk, protect your reputation. There are many who have joined us who are already doing the right thing. But what IIGC certification helps you to do is provide both assurance and evidence that you are doing the right thing. Say you get noticed, you create awareness, you stay ahead of legislation. And to me, this is one of the most valuable parts of IIGC membership and certification is legislation. We must never forget that the ears of many people who set legislation are very near the voices of civil society, many of whom would very much like to see mandatory legislation right through the value chain, from mining through to retail. And I have personal experience of this. Before I joined the IIGC a couple of years ago, I spent 38 years with De Beers. And part of the adventure that I had with De Beers was spending 6 years in Central Africa, in Democratic Republic of Congo, buying diamonds in the bush. From that experience, I then became De Beers' chief negotiator with governments and civil society to create what we now know as the Kimberley process. If we hadn't taken that initiative, if the international diamond industry hadn't done that, I'm not just sure, I'm absolutely certain, because I've actually met some of the people who put together the legislation in Section 1502 of Dodd-Frank. And if it hadn't been for the initiative that the diamond industry took at that time, diamonds would most certainly be on that list of minerals. That would have cost the diamond industry a great deal of money. And people talk about membership fees, auditing fees, and things like that. Let me tell you, it would be nothing compared to the fees, the outlay, and the expense of having mandatory legislation on your business. So RJC membership sends out a big signal. It's not just about assuring your consumer, your customer, which is extremely important. It sends a message out there to the world. It sends a message to the world that this industry, from mining through to retail, is serious about being a good corporate citizen in this world, adding value, not just to their own businesses, but the communities in which they operate. This helps us to keep in step with governments, to keep in step with their aspirations and their ambitions too. So this is the slide I say at a glance. These are the latest figures. So we have now just over 1,000 members. We've seen membership increase in the last 2 years by 40%. And it's increasing exponentially each year. So we're gathering more and more apace as people realize the value that the Responsible Jewelry Council adds to their business. We have 681 certified members. The difference, by the way, between those two is that when you join the RJC, you have a 2-year period of grace to prepare yourself for auditing. We try to make everything as easy as possible for our members, remembering that this is an industry organization. We're not an NGO, we're not a charity, we're not a government body, we're an industry body. So what we try to do is bring the excellence at the same time with as least burden as possible for our members. So you have 2 years of grace in which to prepare yourself for auditing. We have an excellent team in London. We have my excellent colleague, Kinjal Shah, who's based in Surat in Mumbai, also to help the industry here. And he's done an exceptional job in getting out the message of the value of this, of the Responsible Jewelry Council and this community of confidence. It's over 8,500 certified facilities around the world, and we're getting on for nearly 500,000 employees. Now, we're hearing also how it improves the lives and the confidence of employees as well. And I'm not talking about organized unions or anything like that. I'm just talking about how people who work for an organization that recognize the value of looking after their people by demonstrating it through being audited on health and safety in the workplace, this vastly increases confidence. This vastly increases industrial relations with staff as well. So there's value at every single level. And as I say, our members operate in 76 countries around the world now, so we're a truly international organization. And if we have a look at a glance in India here, we have 134 members. That may not seem a lot at the moment, but from zero to that in just a couple of years. And as I say, I give such a lot of credit to my colleague Kinjal for this. But again, we're increasing exponentially month on month and year on year. We have 76 certified members and 307 certified facilities. So nearly 45,000 employees as well covered by that. Again, this is one of the more detailed slides that I'll skip over, but this just lays out what it takes to become a member, eligibility, and the type of membership. And again, at the bottom there, the graphics tell you the breakdown of the membership portfolio that the RJC has. This is just a group, just a snapshot of some of the members that we have. As you can see, it does cover everything from mining through to retail, and that makes us unique. We're the only organization that covers that. So that gives us an advantage as well. We can understand that journey of those materials, of those business practices from mining right through to retail. And we also make sure that we're close to industry associations around the world as well. And this is just a group, a snapshot of those we have. And it's nice to see colleagues from the World Gold Council here with us today as well. And again, as I say, the idea is harmonization. We're born from that, relieving, as I say, that audit burden. So again, this is the industry trying to help industry members. We have two sets of standards. One is the code of practice that is mandatory for members. So that is what in those 2 years you prepare for. And then we have what we call a chain of custody, our COC. So the COP, the code of practice, is about your business management, your processes, if you like. Whereas the chain of custody standard is about the materials. So you can have that chain of custody going right through the value chain. And this is where gold comes in a lot. This is where we've had a lot of subscription from members of the gold industry. And in fact, our chairman is in fact a gold refiner as well. So this is an important and new standard that has been added. Just to let you know that every few years we revise our standards, and we're in the process of doing that at the moment. Our chain of custody standard, the review ends at the end of this year, and our code of practice at the end of next year. And this is an open, international, very transparent process. We invite everyone's participation. You can go on our website and participate in that as well if you wish. Again, this is too detailed to read out now, but this really just highlights, just gives you an overview of what the code of practice entails and the provisions that we have in there. So general requirements, responsible change, human rights. So it's everything from workplace safety through to anti-money laundering and human rights and everything in between. And again, this just shows you the main sections and the provisions 29 to 40. Again, the critical breaches, this is this slide is quite useful to understand what a critical breach of our standards actually entails. And this, as I say, is the chain of custody, which is voluntary for members when they come in. And this gives you a very good overview of the value that being audited by this can actually bring to your business. So this is the standard at a glance. Again, this is something I just skipped through. Please, as I say, the presentation will be available after this, so please download this or access it and have a look at this. And again, this shows you the 5 steps to certification. So that step 1 is what I was talking about, that self-assessment. And again, we have an excellent team in London to help you every step of the way through that, what we call the membership journey. Then you have the auditing. We have a list of approved auditors that we have trained in this particular area. The member then chooses from that list. So it's up to you. It's up to the member to choose your auditor. The RJC itself, myself, Kinjal, the rest of the management team, we have nothing to do with this. It's essential that we are scrupulously neutral from this process. So after the point of engaging an auditor, it is between the member and the auditor. And then the auditor will then report to us to point out whether you've passed, or whether there needs to be a midterm review, or whether there were breaches that need to be reassessed and revisited. Again, this just gives you an idea of the support that you can expect as an RJC member. We have training, again, with an exceptional team in London. This is usually done through e-coffee mornings. We have the RJC webinar series, the Human Rights Exchange, and we have a help desk, which is there all the time to help you. So this is the review that I spoke of earlier on, the code of practice that we will be finished by the end of next year, chain of custody by the end of this year, and also because as we move forward, we are increasing, as I say, our membership at such a rate. We're now moving forward with the confidence of the industry behind us, and we've been encouraged by the wider industry to now take in colored gems as part of our scope, and that too will be finished by the end of next year, and also silver. So as I say, this is you'll be joining not just a community of confidence, assurance, added value to your business, but also to a winning team that is taking on members exponentially each year. This gives you, again, in the sectors, the number of commercial members and the value of that. So that's their aggregate annual sales of nearly 60 billion. I think that might have been the last slide. I thought I'd had more, so it's cut short there, which is probably no bad thing. So, as I say, I offer you this as a member of the business myself. And again, it's great that we are here in India. This is one of our most important markets. I'm very glad to be here amongst new friends that I've made since I joined the IIGC. Particularly moved to be able to be amongst old friends again, and recognizing Sabyasachi Ray there from the Gem and Jewelry Council. He and I go a long way back on Kimberley process and all the challenges that we had in that field as well. So again, one thing that I've learned through this, and Sabyasachi I'm sure would back me up on this, is when this industry unites, so we're just talking there about the diamond industry, a disparate industry, very, very mutually suspicious, all of the various centers. But it recognized a risk, and it recognized the need to come together. When the industry is united, then we can make a huge impact. We can create enormous success, but it is only when we're united. And this is what the Responsible Jewelry Council is all about. It is about uniting this fantastic, complex, international, beautiful industry to recognize and address all the challenges that we have, bringing these materials from mine to retail. And at the same time as we're doing that, we're creating stories, because that's what we are at the end. We're purveyors of stories. And that is the final offer to the consumer. And each of those materials, whether it be diamonds, whether it be platinum, whether it be gold, whether it be soon with us, colored gems and silver, every part of that piece of jewelry tells a story. And it should always be a confident, bold, beautiful, positive story. And again, that is what the Responsible Jewelry Council is here to help all of us do. Because, as I said, this is an international organization that was created by the international jewelry industry. This is an industry organization for the industry. Once again, thank you very much indeed for the fantastic opportunity to come here. This is my first time in Goa. I'll definitely be coming back. The problem for me is as I was getting off the plane and walking out of the airport there, I actually felt as though I was on holiday. So I'm hoping that before I leave, I can actually go out and see some of the sites as well. It's a beautiful place. India is a great market for us. It's a very ambitious market for, and one that aspires to be the best in the world. And the RJC is here to offer what assistance it can for you to be able to realize that. Thank you very much indeed for your time and your attention. And I wish you all the best in your business and for the rest of this conference. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew Bone, for that very, very interesting, wonderful, valuable insights that you shared with us this evening. Truly valuable in every sense of the word. And of course, reminding us of, being good citizens, responsible citizens, and of course, adding value to the lives, to our lives and the lives of everybody around us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And at this moment, I would request, Mr. Bone, we would request you to stay on the dais for the felicitation. Yes, it's an honor for us. Mr. Somasundaram, Managing Director, World Gold Council. We request you to, sir, kindly felicitate Mr. Andrew Bone.